There was a point in which I decided to contact a group of good friends, and I wrote to them that I have cancer. I said it is breast cancer. It is what it is. It's not a disaster. It's not oi oi oi. It's not oh no. It is just breast cancer, and that's all it is. Welcome to another episode of Moving Forward, the podcast of the I.C.C.I, the International Coaching and Counseling Institute. I am Noa Brume, your host on this podcast and the founder of the I.C.C.I. And today we have a very special episode. It is all about me and my journey with breast cancer. You can find our podcast on our website, www.The-ICCI.com, where you will also find links to Spotify, Google Podcast and Apple Podcast. So here we are, and I've asked a good friend, Galit Han, to join me on this recording where I'm going to tell a very personal story, the story of how I found out that I have breast cancer and everything that happened since then. So thank you so much, Galit.
Hi, Noah.
And the reason that I chose you to be helping me really to tell it is, first of all, that I felt it's way too challenging to do it all by myself. Of course, I could open a microphone and do it, but I felt that I need a loving face in front of me.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. But also because the podcast had a break of a few weeks. In the last episode before this one was the episode I recorded together with you a few months ago, just in the beginning of the summer. I remember we sat here. It was a lovely summer day.
Yeah.
And the episode that we recorded together, not only it is the most listened episode in the podcast so far, but it started with a very interesting sentence.
Yeah, I remember. So first of all, I'm very honored and of course emotional about you asking me to do this podcast with you. This is a special and personal podcast. And I remember what I said last time when we recorded, and I said a very significant sentence that went like that. If you don't listen to your body when it whispers, you'll have to listen to it when it screams. So I think today we're going to talk about listening to the whispers of the body.
Totally. I would say not even whispers, but even like these little tingles that one can feel. And I think that it's very symbolic that although I'm meant to have like 3 or 4 weeks break and then come back to record when I'm coming back from my summer holiday, the last episode was with you, with this message. And then the first episode coming back, not after a month, but after about 4 months, is also with you. So again, thank you. And indeed, we're going to talk about that exactly.
Yeah.
Because this is the story. And I chose to tell it now, just after my operation. So technically, I do not have cancer in my body anymore. And just before I start the radiotherapy in about a week, because I feel that it is already time to tell it to the world.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a long time to decide who I'm sharing with. I mean, to begin with, it was very clear that only with good friends and family, then to some more friends. But really to share it out there, I wasn't even sure I'm going to do it. But we are in October 2023, and this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought I'll be one on the side of asking other people, go and get checked.
Mm-hmm.
But here I am.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to all my friends who went through breast cancer before and shouted that loud and clear exactly a year ago in October 2022. This is when I decided to go to my doctor and ask her to get checked.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew from the past that she did agree for me to have mammography when I was much younger. I think I was 44 and 40, or even younger, 43 and 44 or 46. I can't remember exactly. I had twice mammography before. But in this time, I didn't want her to say no. And although it was October that I had it in mind to go and check, it was around December that she was on vacation, that I happened to call the practice, and there was a replacement doctor. And I said to him, look, one of the things that I wanted to ask from my doctor is to send me to a mammography. And he said, why? And I said, it's because I had a few friends who had breast cancer this year, and I'm a bit worried. And I was very surprised that he said yes immediately. He didn't say, oh, wait until your doctor is back or anything like that. He said, just
and you got the referral.
I got the referral. And I didn't do anything with it for a long time. At least I think until January or mid-February. Because eventually the appointment was for the 8th of March, 2023. And I remember being hesitant to go or not. And I went. And, you know, it just takes a few moments. It's really quick. And here the way they do it is that you go and you get out of the room. You're waiting in a very small waiting room where you get dressed. And then the assistant is knocking on your door. And she said, that's it. You can go home. Everything is fine. It's all clear. In the previous 2 times, I went home. But this time, I went to the desk and I asked if I can have a copy of the mammography. And the lady said, yes, no problem. It will take me about an hour to process it. It will be in your email. We'll be waiting for you. You'll need the code. You have 10 days to open it with the code, and then you can have it for a second opinion or whatever. And that's what happened. I went home. I opened the email. I opened the pictures. I mean, it meant nothing to me, but I also thought, okay, there's nothing to see. You just see a photo of your breast. And then I wanted to download it, to keep it. And that didn't work. And I said, okay, maybe I'll phone them tomorrow. Tomorrow I didn't. The next day I didn't phone them. A few days passed, and then it became the point when we booked tickets to go to Israel for the summer. And I knew that there's something I want to do in Israel. It's a special check that they offer in hospitals in Israel, which they check everything. So you go really early in the morning, and you need to fast, obviously, and they check everything: eyes, blood, urine, there's skin, absolutely everything. You run on a machine, and they check your heart. And the only reason that I wanted to go there is to see a breast specialist, so a surgeon, because I wanted to have the manual check.
So at that point, did you have like a gut feeling, or like some sort of a thought that something maybe is not right, or you need to double check? Did you have that intuition?
I can say yes and I can say no. On one hand, I just wanted it done. I wanted to be kind of with a clear mind about other health checks, because in Israel they really do a lot of preventative medicine. They check a lot, they screen a lot, not only when something hurts. So I said, here in the Netherlands there are less so like that. So once every few years, let's do it. I'm nearly 48, time to do it for the first time. And however, it's a very good question, because there was a reason, I think, why I did it at the time I did it. Because for a long time, I would say over a year, maybe even a year and a half, I had not a gut feeling, and certainly I didn't feel anything in my breast, nothing. But it was an inner voice which said, cancer is coming your way. And I couldn't. And, to begin with, I said to myself, no, stop thinking that. Thoughts become reality. And I did everything I know to kind of let the thoughts, disappear. And they came again. But they came in a very friendly way. I cannot even explain
Yeah,
it.
because it's sometimes you wonder whether it's intuition or inner voice, or whether it's just anxiety, because sometimes we have these anxious thoughts, so it's very difficult to really distinguish. So
Definitely not anxiety.
so there was a clear voice.
Yes. Something kept coming back, and I knew when I'll discover it. I knew on what side it's going to be, and even on the breast, where. And every time I had this voice, I said to myself, listen to it. It was, it's like they call it a friendly ghost. You know the difference? Yeah. The kids sometimes talk about a scary ghost and a friendly ghost. It was a friendly ghost. And I just knew, and I even thought to myself, oh, when this will happen, it will be such a good thing. Basically, I thought it's going to be something and it's going to be okay. I'll deal with it. But to tell you that I really knew, no. But
so it was a whisper, kind of a whisper.
Definitely. Really kind of like a very, very quiet whisper. A voice sort of thing, which I'm not a great believer in that at all. But because it kept repeating, I thought,
I should do something about it.
Yeah. Don't ignore it.
Yeah.
Now, I must admit that I had quite a challenging time in the month before. Just, life.
Yeah.
And around May, I don't know if you remember, all of a sudden, like from the winter wasn't difficult, but it was long and it was cold.
The spring was really dark, wet and cold. Yeah.
But all of a sudden around May,
still dragged on and on.
The winter, yes. But in one day, summer arrived. And this is when we also sat in your garden. And I remember, well, we both like Outlander, right?
Yeah.
And Sam Newton, the actor. And I remember, I think episode 7 of season 1 or something, the wedding.
When the sun comes
Then the
out.
sun comes.
That's an unforgettable shot.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And there's an over voice that he's talking and he says like he saw her, Jamie saw Claire, and it was like the sun came out.
Yeah.
And when on the first day of that sun coming out, I felt all of a sudden all the like troubles or all the issues that I had before, I can deal with any challenge that will come. And that's it. I kind of felt like it since then, thankfully until now, although we're nearing winter, but surprisingly it's still quite summery,
Yeah.
Even today, we are in the middle of October, 18 degrees today in the Netherlands. That's rare. And something told me at that moment that whatever will happen in the next few months or in this summer, I can take. And again, it was like an inner belief that I cannot explain where it came from, but it was just there. Yeah. It was like, wow.
All of a sudden it was clear, like a clear picture. And then what happened? What did you do? So you went and did this screening?
He did this screening, and quite amazingly, the surgeon said there's nothing. I cannot feel anything, nearly sending me home. But she was clever enough to do 2 things. One was to put me on like my story on a database that's like a worldwide database that's basically predicting the chances that a woman will have breast cancer with a lot of information, how many times did you give birth, how many pregnancies, questions like that. And one of the questions was, are you an Ashkenazi Jew? And she said to me, look at the magic. Before we clicked on that, she said, I think, I'm not remembering exactly, but I think it was 1 in 40, around that. But when we clicked, comes from an Ashkenazi Jew background, which I am, boom, 1 in 4.
Wow.
And she didn't like it. I could just see that she didn't like it. And then she said, when was the last mammography? I said, in March. can you show me the results? I said, no, because in the Netherlands they don't usually give it to you. Inside me, I knew that they gave it to me.
Yeah.
But again, like something was saving me. I don't know, that I couldn't download it. And I never actually asked for it again. So basically the answer, no, it was still, no, I don't have it. And she said, you know what, let's send you to a mammography here. Try not to tell them that you had one 4 months ago because they will not let you do another one. Just let's keep quiet about it. And indeed, like I had one there and then. And she said, if she takes you to ultrasound, don't be worried. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong. Immediately from the mammography room, I was sent to the ultrasound room, where there was a lovely radiologist who checked me and we talked. And then she dressed up and then she said, listen, I found something. She said, it's very small and I'm not 100% sure what it is, but there is something there, and I'm going to ask you to check again. There is like a more accurate or special mammography. By the time I was out of that check, which I'm talking to you about less than 10 minutes, she already had the referral letter in her hand with all the scary words and things. And she said, look, I wrote quite a scary letter, so they take you seriously in the Netherlands. But you should expect to have a biopsy when you come back. So that's what I did. I immediately, while still sitting, we have the apps here in the Netherlands that you can book an appointment. We came back on Thursday. On Monday, I already had the appointment first thing in the morning. And my GP, my doctor, she took me very seriously. And one of the things she said, I understand why you asked for mammographies so many times, although in the Netherlands they do it only from the age of 50. You had that gut feeling. And I said, yes, like exactly. And she was amazing. She was really, really supportive at that point and in the days after. And that was Monday, and on Wednesday I already had the biopsy. Yeah. So they took me very seriously here. So after the biopsy, you go immediately. I mean, it's after a mammography and it's a mammography biopsy, and then immediately after that to a nurse. They're called case managers, and then they basically all the question, everything, and all the appointments they arrange for you. And you wait a week, and indeed. There was breast cancer. Yeah. And I was very lucky to have surgery. 6 weeks.
You're very lucky to find it in such an early stage. That's lucky. A crucial, I think, point.
Very lucky. Yeah. Because indeed it was a very early stage and the tumor was around 1 centimeter. Everybody is saying early stage and you were lucky. Yeah. And I think that because of that, I'm also very lucky that really, apart from surgery to remove the tumor, I will only need to have radiotherapy.
So you had the surgery, and I have to say that you recovered amazingly. Yes. Yeah, I've seen you like a week after or so. And
less than a week after.
Less than a week. And I was quite amazed from your vitality and energy and
Yes, in a way, I remember telling you something. I remember that on the day I had to have some more checks after that. And of course, after you hear it, you're a bit kind of shaken, but they were all very supportive. And then I remember going to the car park in the hospital in Israel to find a missed call from you. Yeah. And it's not that we're talking every day, right? No. And you knew I'm in Israel, and I'm thinking, why is she calling me? So I called you back. And I said to you, of course I told you. And I remember saying to you that I really feel that I'm ready for it, that my body is ready for it. Because we didn't say it in the podcast yet, but the way we knew each other in the first place is that you were our nutritionist, and you helped us to make a huge change in the house of how we eat.
Yeah.
And that was exactly in October 4 years ago. And ever since, you are my mentor for healthy eating and healthy food and the whole change to eat gluten-free and dairy-free and all these changes that I didn't even know sometimes that I wanted. But together with you, I've made it. And I remember saying to you that I really feel, thanks to the work we're doing together, my body is really ready.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. But I want to go back to that telephone conversation because I also had a whisper that day and I called you. I don't know. I just had the urge to call you and I don't really remember if I had something specific that I needed or wanted, but I just wanted to call you. And then I called you and then you told me this. But I was quite amazed from that telephone conversation because unfortunately in the last few years I had a lot of friends that were diagnosed with cancer, and I never remember such a conversation with any of them. I remember few devastating conversation, and people felt that like the sky fell, or the world is collapsed upon them. And with you, it was different. It was really different, and I really appreciated the way you told me, and we immediately talked about it. And of course, we can be very honest with each other, and I really appreciate that about our relationship. I think we both really appreciate honesty and value it. And then I told you, and that it's amazing that we can talk about it like that. And through the whole process, I felt that you don't see yourself as a sick person. You are a healthy person. You appreciate your body being strong. And you have a health challenge. You have something that needs attention, that needs healing, that needs treating, or whatever you call it. But you never at any given point, you never saw yourself as a sick person. And I think as a person who is working with a lot of people with health issues, health challenges, this is a crucial point to understand. Because thoughts create the reality. If you see yourself as a sick person, you will be a sick person. Yeah. If you see yourself as a whole, healthy person, but you have something, a challenge that needs attention, this is how it's going to be.
Yes.
So I really appreciate that about your approach. I think it's amazing. And it's really inspiring. And I think it's a really important message to get out there for people who have health challenges. How do you see yourself?
Yeah, that is really it, is how do you see yourself? And I remember when the kids started school again, and we emailed the school to say, look, this is what happened over the summer, just so you know. About a week after, my daughter came home and she entered the car when I picked her up, and she said, Mommy, are you sick? And I said, why do you say something like that? No, I'm not. Because you've so-and-so, one of the teachers, said that you are sick, that you have cancer and you are sick. And I said to her, listen, I have cancer. You know that I have cancer, but I'm not sick. I have a tumor. It needs to go out, but I'm not sick because of that. Yes, there are some people that when they have cancer, they become very sick. She saw her grandfather, unfortunately, her granddad in Scotland. That's what happened to him. But I said that a lot of people have cancer. The doctors are going to take it out, and that's it. And until this day, I don't see myself as a sick person. I just see myself as a person who had cancer, and now we're going to have radiotherapy to make sure that it doesn't repeat. Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah. I think the other thing that is also important to understand, that you took responsibility. Yes, you went to get checked. Yes, you listened to advice of the doctors. Yes, you decided to go under a surgery. And, but from the beginning, you took responsibility. You had a inner voice, you went and you got checked. After that, you went and you chose your, what kind of, treatment you're going to have. You researched, you talked with other people. You really took responsibility. It's not like you gave the steering wheel to others and decide, okay, whatever happens, they're going to take care of me. They're going to take it out. I have to eat well. I have to look after myself.
True.
I am responsible for my own healing journey. And
Yes.
that's also crucial.
I remember asking you in that conversation, is there anything that I can do in terms of eating to get, to
get stronger,
to get stronger.
together with
Yeah.
surgery, together with other methods of therapy. I really believe in integrative medicine and having both ends of the spectrum of healing and medicine.
Absolutely. And I remember you're saying, Noah, you're already doing almost everything.
Yeah.
Because, I've not eaten gluten for a long time, no dairy, no sugar at the time was for a few months, now it's a year. Really cut on a lot of things, and I do feel much healthier than I ever was
I
before.
think it's also not just about what you're not eating, it's mostly about what you are eating. You're eating a lot of fresh, vital food, rich with nutrients. And I think this is the proof, the way that I sit in front of you like less a month after surgery.
Yeah,
and
3
it's
weeks.
like and it's, you're healed. And the time it takes us to heal is such a indicator,
Yes.
a very, very important indicator of what is really going on in our bodies. The time it takes us to recover from injury or surgery or anything like that gives you a very good indication of how healthy you are. So absolutely.
Absolutely. And I also remember you saying at the time, in the same conversation, that medicine has such a lot to give nowadays, and that in most countries or hospital or the approach now is that there is the medical care, the conventional
medicinal care.
But almost everybody knows and agrees now that alternative medicine and the way you're taking care of yourself has a crucial
absolutely physical, the way you take care of yourself physically as well as mentally and emotionally is crucial for healing.
Yes. So let's talk about the mentally a bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like I said in the beginning, I am now ready to share it. I was asking myself for a long time, when will that be the moment? And maybe thanks to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, this is why I'm here now.
It's a good
reason.
Motivation, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it was very clear to me that I'm going to share it. There was a point in which I contacted a group of good friends and I told them I have cancer. I have breast cancer, and it is what it is. It's not a disaster. It's not oi 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 and oh no. It is just what it is. And I asked them to look at it just like I do. I said I'm going to get over it. It was early discovery, and that I need them to look at it just like I do. And then I asked them to keep it between themselves at the moment, because at the time I didn't feel like sharing it with all the world. And I said I'm feeling very, very lucky. And I said, I know that you're asking yourself how I can help. And I gave them a long list of ideas of how they can help me. And I started with the negative. And I said, it doesn't help me if you are talking to me about what happened to other women you know. I know you care about them very much, but it doesn't help me to know all the disastrous stories or even stories of recovery. I just thought, no, I need to really keep myself and listen to my needs. And I put myself in a sort of bubble. And I said, I don't want to hear about other women's story at the moment. I said that I don't need them to be sorry for me. That they should be really careful who they are sharing with. It doesn't help me that people say, oh, be strong, stay strong. I said, I am strong. Yes, there are moments that I'm not as strong, but it's perfectly fine. It's part of the story. I said, it really doesn't help me when you're asking me too much about what's happening. Let me tell you in my own time. And that it doesn't help me when you're asking me, so are you going to have this? Are you going to have this? Are you going to have, chemotherapy, this, that? It doesn't help me. I just said, let me tell you when I'm ready to tell you. And I said, it doesn't help me if you send me flowers because I really don't like flowers so much. One bouquet will be enough. And also, don't send me chocolates because I'm not eating sugar, and it's just going to be thrown away or pass to somebody else. And then I said, I'm sure that you do ask yourself how you can help. And I listed a long, long list. I said, it is really helping me when people are seeing it just as I do. And I said, it is really helping when people are asking me honestly how I feel and ready to get the answer. I said it helps me when you give concrete ideas of what I can do, not just tell me when you need help. And no, I said no, I'm not at the point of just telling me when I need help. Please ask if I need help, and I'll honestly answer if yes or not. And I said, think about ideas for me. Think about what else can I do or happen, because my thoughts are very limited anyway, but certainly on times like that. And I said, it really helps me when you are sending me funny things to watch or to listen to, because to lift my spirit. I said I wanted to laugh every day. A good friend of mine created what is called Meal Train. It's a wonderful app in which people can volunteer to cook for you. So she opened that. So I said, it will help me if you will register, if you volunteer to cook for us. And the week after, I'm going to have my operation. I said it's going to help us if you are around, and if we need some help with the kids, or to take them places or even to school and back. I said I don't know how I'm going to be after the operation, and it will appreciate help with that, or even to take them to places, because in the next few weeks mommy and daddy are going to be very, very busy and not always have time to even take them to like someplace on the weekend or have fun. I didn't know how it's going to be, so I said, if you are going someplace to a trip or someplace fun, please take my kids as well. I also said hugs, meeting you, positive vibes, fun talks, all that, like celebrating life, will really, really help me too. And then at the end, I said, look, 2.5 weeks ago, a day before my birthday, I didn't have any wish to celebrate my birthday whatsoever. But now I do. And I quoted my grandpa, who said that when there are opportunities to celebrate, we have to celebrate because disasters come on their own. And unfortunately, we know that they do. So I said, I'm inviting you to a belated birthday, and come and celebrate with me. And they were all so, so happy to come. And that's it. That's kind of, I managed it. I decided what I want. I thought to myself for a long time what I want to share with them and how I'm going to ask for help. And guess what? They're really all really not just appreciated it, but they really knew how they can help me. They had not too many questions, and they knew how I like to be helped, and I managed it. I managed the whole situation, and that was really helpful for me, first of all, but also for them, because they really did want to help. And they really, when somebody tells you they have cancer, you are starting to walk like on eggshells, and there is absolutely no reason if you're just communicating what you need. And the same I did with family, of course, and also with my students. I kept on teaching this whole time, and I just communicated the same. I said, I'll do my best, I'll be here, but just be ready that there will be moments in which I might say to you, we're going to postpone this lesson, or we're going to have a shorter lesson, and maybe we'll have to cut a lesson into two. Luckily, until now, I didn't have to do any of that, but I prepared them for that. And I asked them for help, and they were all so appreciative that I shared it with them, because I think, first of all, when you share something so personal, people appreciate it. But it is also, I was helping myself, but because I communicated it, it really helped all the others to help me. And I think this is a very important message.
That's amazing.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
That's really amazing. I want to take you back to something you said in our last conversation when we recorded the last podcast, this episode, and you were talking about people with growth mindset.
Yes.
That people with growth mindset, they live differently their life. And if you have a growth mindset, everything that happens to you is a leverage. It's like a jumping board to the next level, or it's a lesson to learn or to develop. So how did this being diagnosed with breast cancer and going through that help you to grow, develop, get to the next level? Because you are a person with a growth mindset.
Thank you, first of all, for recognizing that. I am trying hard, succeeding, I think. Look, if there's something that I don't think that I thought that in all this time is my life is going to change. I'm going to completely do something different. I'm going to, some people have...
a dramatic
yes.
Change of...
yes. In fact, I thought the opposite. I thought I have done the change. And I'm now ready to take it. It's almost like the cancer arrived when I was most ready. Because, yes, health-wise and mentally, I really worked hard over the last 2 years. And I didn't feel like it's going to be like the life before and the life after. I really thought about it as an episode that I can deal with. Saying that, at the same parallel thought was, how can I improve my life through that? Not change, but what message is here? And for example, you were talking about nutrition of the body, but also the nutrition of the mind and the soul. If there's one thing that I saw very clearly in the days after, is that I thought it's almost the metaphor of I'm not a rubbish bin for everyone else's thoughts, needs, etc. I really started to more concentrate on what I need, and a lot of the voices around, I just either decided not to listen to them at all, or to quiet
filter
them,
or I call it intake management.
Yes, really quiet them down.
That's a very, very powerful thing.
Definitely. And in a minute I'll tell you how I really see it happening, but just by also checking who is the right person to talk to. I can tell you that I have a good friend that I shared with her, and the whole energy that was around it, I didn't like. It's like, no. So almost like, it's not that I'm not updating her, she is a good friend, but I'm really choosing where and when. But most people that I chose the people who I'm telling, family of course, but good friends in Israel as well. Everyone was so supportive, and I decided to listen to that. And another thing that I forgot to say, and I think that was crucial, when the radiologist who really found it with the ultrasound gave me the referral, we sat in a small room. Obviously, I shed a small tear from shock. And she said the following. She said, it's small. It's really early stage, where it's going to come out. There will be some treatments after, and you're going to get out of it. And in a year from now, when you'll come again, I'm going to see you as strong as you are now. And I decided to believe her. I decided that this is it.
But this is also
my story.
Amazing. This is also important, because when you have a vision of how you are in the future, you're going to get there. And many times I tell people, can you have a vision of you being healthy after you overcame this challenge, or after you wanted to get to the target, and having a clear vision, what's going to be beyond that bump is extremely important.
Yes, and I really believed her. I decided this is my story, and that's it. And everything that I did ever since that moment of discovery, that's it. My story is that it is here, and it's going to go, and that's it.
It's amazing.
I feel that it's amazing
Yeah.
because I feel that whenever I tell that story or coming back to that moment and I have a very clear vision of her, that really is helping me.
Beautiful.
Really does.
Beautiful.
And it's not that there were not challenging moments.
Of course. We have to give room for everything that comes to the surface, all the emotions. It's a roller coaster, obviously.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky to be surrounded by loving parents, brothers and sisters, but most of all, and friends, but most of all, Kevin.
Yeah.
Because I think that one of the things that really happened from this big challenge is that we both realized, but for me, as the person who's going through that, I realized how much love, care, support there is there, and how much he was 1,000,000% the right choice for me as a partner. I know it anyway.
What a wonderful benefit to this episode as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And like every couple, you have your ups and your downs. And I really felt like just before I went to Israel, it wasn't really a down, but it was like normal, like there were a few weeks of kind of normal life between us. It's nothing wrong, but it's,
Yeah.
But ever since the moment that I told him, he just does everything that's kind of the right way to support me.
Yeah.
So accurate that I'm sometimes surprised. Because yes, a lot of times in our couplehood, I need to ask him, please help. I think it's normal. It's better be like that.
Mm-hmm.
That, you say, hi, now I need your help to do this. The communication. But I almost don't have to say it. And he's like jumping
So
before.
attentive. Yeah.
So authentic and so tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
And offering more than I ever expected or will expecting. So yeah, I'm trying to think what is the benefit of this. Definitely to know that I've chosen the right person.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
And then you said something to remind you later about talking about asking people for help.
Yes. So
I'm reminding you.
yes. Like I said, my vision was that because of the cancer, I will kind of use it to my benefit. I will ask people to help me with marketing, the courses, etc. But then something else happened. I didn't listen to that. I mean, first of all, I didn't ask for much help. I carried on doing it by myself. And there's a course that's opening on 28th of October, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I have the whole summer to do marketing, push it, etc. And I did. In some ways, I did. There was an open day, etc. But I also need to say that in the months of June and July, people already registered before I went to holiday, and I had enough people to already open the course. But I thought, come on, a few more and I can do it, etc. But the reality is that ever since, so I'm talking to you about August, September, nobody registered.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, I thought, what is the world telling you? Listen.
Mm-hmm.
And the world is telling me, I have enough. I have enough students to open. It's going to be a lovely small group of very caring women. We currently only have women. And I'm thinking, listen to this. Don't try too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try. And when I did try a bit harder, so like to remind somebody that she wanted to register, she didn't. But also, she wasn't exactly the right person.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? She told me that for a reason that, a medical reason, she cannot attend. if there is more than one person who for medical reason cannot attend. So I hope it's, the woman who will, I would very much like her to attend, is not listening to this and thinking that's her. There was another woman, but it really felt there wasn't, how will I say it? Yeah, I didn't feel 100% right about that woman. And later on, she also emailed me and she said, look, I found another course. And I thought, wow,
What a relief. Yeah.
she really, she'll be lovely as a coach, but she's not right for me. She's not in the right vibes. She was very, very different. And I was really happy for her. So, yeah, it just, to let go.
Yeah.
And I basically decided that whoever's going to come, if somebody wants to knock on the door and say, do you have a place for the 28th of October? I'll say yes. But I'm not going to very actively advertise or anything like that. I'll just keep on to do what I'm doing. And the thing is that I never asked, and I asked a few friends, but I never asked like my former students or anything like that to help me. And they're usually great at helping me. Until today. I mean, I could do it a few weeks ago, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So again, it's that listen to your needs and your abilities. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's not the right time to have a very big group. It's really the
Maybe
time.
you need also an intimate,
definitely
quality
group
of that
women.
really tunes to who you are and the way you teach. And
definitely.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, and a third of this intake, a third of the group, I know personally, which means a lot. It's not just people from everywhere. It's like really people that I know and I really appreciate and love being,
Beautiful.
with.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. Yeah.
So maybe one more thing I think we wanted to talk about. This is October, a month of breast cancer awareness. So you have a message.
I never thought I'll have this message. But yeah, go and get checked. First of all, go and get checked. And I know that some women are afraid of mammography, and for some people it's very intimate. And they don't want that, but it can really save lives. I really hope that I'm not mistaken saying that early detection saved my life.
Absolutely.
The other thing is if you feel that something is wrong, insist.
Yeah.
Insist on getting checked. Insist on even if you
pursue your this inner voice.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we talked about, that the need to listen to the body when it whispers. Don't wait until you really you developed some acute
yes. And again, there was no physical sign. I couldn't feel a lump. The surgeon could not feel a lump. The surgeon here could not feel a lump before she she did the surgery, but it was there. It was there.
I want to add on top of your message is that I'm absolutely all in favor of going and get checked, and definitely listen to the intuition and listen to your inner voice and listen to the whispers, but take responsibility as well. It's your body and you are responsible. So find out what are the risk factors. Lifestyle plays a major role. Major role. So going and getting checked is important, but no less important is really to look at your lifestyle choices, whether it's nutrition, movement, emotions, spiritual, all these aspects of your life. So take care of yourself. It's not just for the doctors to take care of you.
Absolutely.
You have to take responsibility for your own health and do whatever it takes. And again, we go back to the basic message: listen to your body.
Yes.
All the information is there.
And I'll add to that, there's a lot of information out there. But not everything is for you. Not everything that everyone says is the right thing for you.
Yeah.
I would say try different things, but at the end of the day, work with what feels right for you, with what fits.
Absolutely. Get all the information and then listen to your intuition.
Yes, definitely.
Beautiful.
So from here, I send a message that I think, or I feel that I'll be fine.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
And
you are fine
I am
already.
Fine. I am
already.
Fine.
That's important to say. You are fine now.
I know that radiotherapy is coming. I don't know how I'll react. Different women react in different ways. But so many women also have hardly any reaction or very little, tiredness, etc. And I'm saying to myself that even if it's going to be something more than that, then okay, then I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it, and I'll be able to take whatever it brings. It doesn't look like it's going to be anything that I cannot deal with it. So that's my maybe message for myself as well.
Beautiful. I'll totally support you on that one.
Yes. Galit, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I'm really honored to share this with you.
I really didn't know how to do it. And a few days ago when I woke up and knew that this is what I want to do, I knew that when I'm going to ask you for help, you're going to say yes.
Of course.
So
you say jump, I
don't
ask
cry.
How high.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. So thanks so much. Yeah, let's broadcast this podcast. It's a brave thing to do.
Absolutely. I appreciate your courage and openness.
Yes.
And there's so much, quietness and shame and around cancer.
Yeah, and fear.
And I really want to change the culture around cancer. I remember 20 years ago, people didn't even want to say the word cancer.
Yes.
It was like, the disease. They would be there, like end of the world. No, it's something that happens and body knows what to do.
Yeah.
And we have so much advanced, therapies. And it's okay.
Yes. I remember my surgeon. She's an amazing woman, Dr. Staver. I really love her. She's also so positive and so talkative and really looks you in the eyes. And I was, lying in the surgery room and they come in and the anesthetist coming and another doctor and her and they kind of start preparing. And I said to her, I really want to thank you for studying all these years and for knowing how to do your work and for all this equipment that we have here. That maybe it wasn't so developed like 10 years ago. And then she said to me, imagine how it's going to be in 20 years from now. And later on we had another conversation. I reminded her that's what she said. And she said, yeah, we need to deal with it. It's not nice. But there really, if you are listening to yourself and if we are listening to patients, there is such a lot we can do with cancer nowadays.
Yeah.
No, it's not nice. And it can end up very badly.
Yeah.
But in so many cases, it ends well. So for me, that's my little optimistic voice.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's end it here. I know we can talk more. But thank you everyone for listening. Please share this episode. Please tell us what you think. I personally would love to hear what you've got to say. I promise to answer. And if I see you commenting, and I will see it, I promise to answer. If anyone wants to ask a question or be inspired by my words, I'm here for you. I was Noa Brume, together with Galit Han, my nutritionist and a friend. And goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Bye. If you liked this episode and the messages in it touched you, please share it forward. The only way for us to get to other people who might need to hear what I shared is by you sharing it. So think about somebody that you love or you care for who can listen to that and really be helped by my words and my message. This will be the way that will make me happy, but also you never know whose life you will save.